At face value, it might not seem like 1984 was a very significant year in Twins history. After all, they finished with a .500 record. Well, this was the first competitive team in the Metrodome era, and actually the first Twins team that led the division as late as September in 14 years. It was also in June of that year that Carl Pohlad purchased the club. The team was in a tie for the AL West lead on September 23rd, receiving a standing ovation at the Metrodome finale prior to leaving for a season-ending road trip. They lost their final 6 games and finished 3 games back in the division. Many young players established themselves that season, one of them being second baseman Tim Teufel. Had you told someone in 1984 the Twins would win a World Series just 3 years later, they probably would have assumed Teufel would have played a central role in that success. Baseball's weird. Tim Teufel's time in Minnesota is mostly forgettable, but zooming out reveals layers of intrigue. Teufel appeared on the cover of the August 1st, 1983 issue of Baseball America. He was remarkable for AAA Toledo that season, winning the International League MVP award after hitting .323 with 27 home runs, while eclipsing 100 runs, RBIs, and walks. So why was he stuck in AAA? The Twins had former Rookie of the Year John Castino having a renaissance season at second base. He led Twins hitters with a 3.7 WAR that season, per Fangraphs. Castino's bounce back was also a feel-good story. He had to have spinal fusion surgery after the 1981 season and, understandably, struggled in his next season. Unfortunately, right when it looked like Castino's career was right on track again, back stiffness returned. Castino played just 8 games for the Twins in 1984. His baseball career was over at age 29. Tim Teufel was ready. He stepped in at second base and posted a 104 OPS plus in 157 games for the Twins in his age 25 season. Teufel ranked second among Twins hitters in WAR in 1984, trailing only Kent Hrbek. Yes, Teufel was even better than fellow rookie Kirby Puckett. Teufel even ranked 5th among all second basemen in terms of Fangraphs WAR that season. Teufel didn't post as impressive offensive numbers in 1985, and rookie Steve Lombardozzi started eating into his playing time by the end of that year. Lombardozzi hit .392 in 62 plate appearances that September. Teufel requested to be traded if he didn't fit in the team's long-term plans. It seemed the Twins were looking for speed, and a big storyline around that time was the team's lack of double plays turned the previous seasons. Teufel eventually filed for arbitration that offseason, seemingly sealing his fate. January 1986, Teufel was traded along with a minor leaguer to the Mets for Billy Beane, yes, that Billy Beane, Joe Klink, and Bill Latham. It was a horrible trade. Teufel helped the Mets win the World Series in his first season there, played 463 games for the Mets, and has been a coach in their organization for nearly 20 years now. The Twins' return package, on the other hand, combined to play just 111 games for Minnesota. Among the other trade packages rejected by the Twins was an offer from Baltimore that included Dennis Martinez, per an October 27, 1985 report from Sid Hartman. At that time, Martinez was a 31-year-old coming off a string of poor seasons, but he'd go on to turn his career around and make 4 All-Star teams from that point forward. But Billy Beane was a big get at the time, having been the number 1 overall pick of the 1980 draft. Funny enough, 1980 was also the same year Terry Ryan started working as a scout for the Mets. On January 9th, 1986, Ryan officially joined the Twins as their new director of scouting. Exactly 1 week later, the Teufel trade was finalized. Scouts drooled over Beane's skills, and his minor league numbers from 1985 backed up that billing. Beane had a 2020 season while posting an .842 OPS in AA that season. His career fizzled out, of course. Beane was awful for the Twins in 1986, spent nearly all of '87 in the minors, and then was traded in the spring of 1988 after the Twins tinkered with the idea of converting him to a catcher. How ironic is it that Terry Ryan and Billy Beane's teams would go on to face each other in the 2002 ALDS? So that was a complete disaster of a trade, right? Well, we all know who succeeded the Mets as world champions in 1987. Tim Teufel took over for a player who once appeared to be a franchise building block, then established himself as a foundational piece. But instead of that happening, the Twins traded Teufel away in his prime and got basically nothing in return. Yet they still won the World Series. It didn't keep the Twins from achieving the ultimate goal. Lombardozzi stabilized second base and formed an excellent defensive middle infield duo with Greg Gagne. He also had a hell of a World Series in 1987. While Teufel formed a solid platoon with Wally Backman for the Mets at second base, he never did have another year quite like his 1984 rookie season.
To the right, Baines won't be able to get it. Oh, the hop goes over his head. Fletcher and Law running after the ball. 1 run is in. 2 runs will score. They're waving him in. Here comes a throw, and Teufel is safe and inside the park. Home run. And the Twins win the ball game.
Day out. If you let yourself get caught up in the drama, look out. Fly ball off the bat of Teufel deep to left center. Extra bases for Timmy.
The more you see Tim Teufel, the more you like him. Short swing, generates a lot of power, a lot of bat speed, and he drove that ball very quickly into left center where Motley played it off the base.
Here's a shot to left. Motley on the run. Can he get there? No, but he knocks it down. Teufel rounds first. He heads for second base. The throw not in time. Timmy Teufel with his second double tonight.
That ball really started to die.